Hi, Mike. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
If you would please tell us a little bit about yourself, kind of what your title is and what you've been doing for the past 12 years.
Okay. I have been playing pickleball for about 12 and a half years. I started the day after I retired from work. I was an aerospace engineer designing satellites, rockets, missiles, weaponry. I've designed probably over 100 satellites, many different kinds of weapons that are used in military. Have a background in mechanical engineering, aeronautical engineering, aerospace, RF engineering. I have many years. For a long time, I was developing ski equipment and tennis rackets for head ski. That was one of the big ones that I got into playing a lot of tennis. One of my hitting partners was Arthur Ashe back in the 70s when he was young and vibrant and fun. So I designed all of his tennis rackets, his Arthur Ashe comps 1s and 2s. And so I've been refereeing about 8.5 years. I started because we had a tournament. We had nobody to referee and we needed some referees. I thought that was a great opportunity to start giving back. So that was a great adventure. Then after about 2 years of that, I taught myself everything I probably could about refereeing until the website came out on USA Pickleball. It was USA Pickleball Association, USAPA back then. And they started coming out with more and more videos, more and more information, and publishing the real rule book. And it kept expanding, getting better and better. And then it became easier to become a referee because you could go online and you could read all the expectations, you could read the rules, you could read the referee handbook, you could read case studies of incidents that had happened on the court and how it was handled, why it was handled that way. And then it has been growing. It's been a very good progress on the way that the website has handled it, because there's a lot more people who are becoming involved with refereeing. It's a major part of the sport. So then I become a certified line judge, and along the way I decided I teach pickleball all over the country. I teach thousands of people how to play pickleball, and thought that would be a good combination. I went and became a PCI instructor, became a PPR instructor, and it leads around. I found out that if you're a referee and you're a coach, you really understand the game well. I could guarantee you, if you become a referee, you will become a better player. I always say, a smart player always wins, dumb players always lose. You can be a dumb player and win against other dumb players, but once you go against a smart player, and by being a referee, you understand the game, you understand the philosophy, you understand all the strategic parts of the game, and that's how it makes you better.
Nice. So what is your current title?
My current title is the Great Plains Regional Referee Training Coordinator, which the whole country is divided up into regions. So I have from the very far northwest corner of Montana, where it meets Canada, down to the very southeast corner of Kansas along the river, 740,000 square miles that I travel quite consistently. Pretty much every week I'm training and traveling. And so I work for USA Pickleball, and I have all the other people that I can rely upon, the other regional training coordinators. Plus we have head referees at every place. We have tournament coordinators. We have a staff of huge amount of people that help out. So I train referees.
Awesome. So when you go around to all these different places and someone comes up to you and says, hey Mike, why should I be a referee? What do you normally tell them?
I usually say, how long you been playing? What kind of level of play do you play? Do you like to travel? Do you like to meet people? Do you have a kind of a command of the court? And would you like to give back to the sport a little bit? A lot of people can continue to take from a sport and never ever give back to anything. So I encourage them, if they want to become a better player, that this is a great opportunity. It's a great opportunity to travel, and it's not anything you're going to get rich on. You can get paid a small amount for refereeing, But the fringe benefits are humongous. You get to meet people all over the country. No matter where I go, as soon as I walk in the court, there'll be a lot of the people that come up and say hi to you, and they know you from tournament after tournament. You get to, not that it's important, but you get to referee the pros. You get to know their names. In theory, you should not be on a first name basis with all the pros, even though they know who you are, you know who they are. Makes them mad sometimes when they come up to you and say, "Hey, I'm so and so," and I say, "Who?" I don't recognize, and you know who they are. You're just doing it just to make them mad because they think they are important. Obviously, they think they're important. But you have to treat everybody exactly the same, no matter whether they're the 2-5 player or a 6-5 player. They're all exactly the same. In your eyes, you have no favorites. You just play the game. You have no outcome on the game whatsoever. If they make a mistake, you let them know. They make good plays. That's the hard part about being a referee for me. I'm a pretty personable person, I think. Everybody seems to recognize me and know me. Mm-hmm. I cannot show partiality to nobody. Right. You have to be completely, they win the game, they lose the game. It's up to them, not up to the referee. You're just there to keep score.
So, Mike, we had talked about doing a couple of different things when you come out to teach some new referees here in Steamboat.
Correct.
And one of the things that we had talked about was doing a quote-unquote rules night where people could come out and for about an hour, maybe 2 hours, depending on how many questions there are, and learn more about the rules. Can you tell us more about what that rules night might look like and what people should expect?
I think rules night for me, and that's usually the first night, usually when I get into town. I usually come to town 4 or 5 days, depending if it's tournament, I'll stay till Sunday evening, and I usually get there Wednesday mornings. In rules, there's a lot of players that do not really have a good command of the intricacies of the game that can make a big difference in the way they play and the way that the strategy and how they will win. So I explain kind of what the updates of the rules have been, how they've changed, why they've changed. That's a big thing, is why rules do change every year. Last year, 2021, there was, I think, 125 rule changes. This year, I think about 32 rule changes. Some of them are very, very simple rules that have just changed a word from must or should, or it just clarifies it. Big parts of when does a rally start? As soon as the ball touches the paddle. When does the rally end? When the ball bounces twice or hits an object that is outside the court. So people don't really understand that you have a serving area. You have to be within the serving area. You cannot put your foot on the line. You could have to stay inside the imaginary lines that extend to the net or to the wall. Let serve. A lot of people still don't really understand that. Yeah, you could continue to play let serve. So there are rules, different types of play, rally scoring. A lot of people say, what is rally score? Should we be playing rally scoring? We have 57 people here waiting. Should we rally score to 9? Should we rally score to this? Are there different types of rally scoring, like Major League Pickleball rally scoring? Big different. They want to know all the different little things that can make their games better by knowing the rules. So I just kind of a nice big overview, and a lot of it is the same repetition questions over and over again. What happens if you hit the ball, it's got backspin, it comes back over the net? What happens? Like I get to ask that question twice a day. I think if you read the rules, it's right there.
Right.
So what I do is I show them where the rules are, encourage them to read them, and talk to their friends about it.
Okay, awesome. So if someone maybe wouldn't want to necessarily go through all the training to do the full referee clinic,
right,
should they come to rules night?
Yes, they definitely should come to rules night. I think rules night, everybody's going to benefit because there's going to be a lot of questions asked, and a lot of people are afraid to ask a question in a group. So if somebody else asks the question, same one you were going to ask, they get the answer to it. So I think rules night should be almost mandatory for the entire club. I encourage everybody know the rules. Nothing worse than having a person on the court that thinks they know everything but knows almost nothing,
Right.
and is trying to boss other people around by false information,
Mm.
trying to make them believe that he knows they know something. And usually it's an alpha male that's out there, and he's making just as many or more mistakes than anybody because of not knowing the rules. And I've played in a lot of places that are in small states in my area, North Dakota, South Dakota, Wyoming, Montana, eastern Montana, and we'll play and they say, oh, we don't play by those rules, we make our own rules. I said, there's only one set of rules, the real rules. Your rules don't really count. So
Right.
let's play with the real rules. So it's kind of interesting. So yes, you should come to a rules committee or rules meeting just for fun.
So Mike, tell us about, there are 4 different tiers of becoming a trained referee that you were talking to me about the other day. Can you lead us through what those 4 different types of referees are?
Yes. The first level is a trained referee. A trained referee is somebody who has gone through, knows the rules, has read the handbook, knows all about the stuff, but lacks experience. Experience is probably the biggest difference between all the different levels. The longer you referee, the better you get at incidents and things that happen on the court that are not really common. You get to full certified referee. That's the 4th level. You can handle almost anybody, any situation, anytime, any tournament, and feel comfortable about it. So that after you get to be a trained referee, the next level will be a level 1. That's somebody who has gone through, shows all the proficiency of being able to handle a match quite well. They're gonna be somebody who knows everything there is to pretty much know about keeping a scorecard, keeping the score, making sure everything goes right, how to turn in a scorecard when it's finished, and how to call timeouts, how to call medical timeouts if somebody gets hurt, be able to determine, let's say somebody got a head injury, what do we do with that? Somebody gets a head injury.
Mm-hmm.
What happens if somebody falls and scuffs their knee and they're bleeding? Somebody gets a bloody nose. They're good at that. And that probably requires a good, I would think, 20 to 30 matches, good matches, of being able to handle singles matches, doubles matches, stacking. They have to know how to keep track of the players on the court and know how to do a gold medal match or any kind of a medal match, and possibly using line judges. The line judging training is also in there. It's almost required nowadays that you have to become a line judge also, which requires you to have visual acuity of 20, 40 in both eyes. They want referees and line judges to be able to see, which sounds like a good idea to me.
That's a good idea.
but you can have glasses, you can have all kinds of things. And the tendency nowadays seems to be that we're going away from line judges, it seems like. Some people will not allow a line judge. Pros, you're never going to get a line judge during the pro matches because they want to call their own. Pros they'll continue to play balls that are 2-3 inches out because they want to play. They play hard, and if you don't want to be nitpicking by, oh, it was like this much.
Right.
So I think it might be to the point where you may not have line judges, but if you do have line judges at a certain match, I want that referee to be able to control the line judges, tell them where to stand, all the different signs. You have a lot of different hand visualizations that will give the referee opportunity to make the calls, the line calls, coaching calls, different types of things that the line judge would see that the referee might not see. That's always really important. I've seen stuff that has happened on the court that the referee was not able to see because he was focused on the NVZ, and there's stuff going on that is flagrant that somebody has to call. Right. And a line judge might be the one that hears somebody yell out a profanity to somebody in the crowd or something. Those are the things you don't want to do. You want to promote a good atmosphere on the court. and the spectators. It's getting big. Spectators are pretty important, I think, to keep everybody happy.
Yeah.
So the next level would be that level 2 level. That is exactly a higher trained, more experienced level 1. Then the final level would be a certified referee. And that is after I would sign them off and say, you are a very, very good referee. I have confidence in you that you can handle anything and everything. Then we will put them with another coach, mentor, another trainer, probably from a different area. They will go over and do an ATS, an advanced training session. They will put them through, we'll have a special team of players that know exactly what mistakes to make, when to make them, what kind of frequency they should make them, and they don't fall down and bleed or nothing, but they do a lot of different stuff that will cause that referee to be under a lot of stress.
Right.
And we want to see how you handle stress and things that don't go right for you.
Okay.
You know? So, and then after you go through the ATS, we will send you to another more highly trained teacher, and they will watch you during a match, and they will certify you as a real certified referee. It's quite a procedure, but it's fun, it's exciting. They want you to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to fail you, and they will help you every bit they can to make sure you succeed.
Well, that all sounds wonderful. So as far as the training that someone could expect when they come to your training here at the Steamboat Tennis and Pickleball Center, what should they expect to leave here from? Would it be a level 1? Would it just be trained referee? What should they expect?
I think for the class I'm going to be doing, I would hope that every single one of them would become a trained referee, and then we would have to evaluate how serious are these people really wanting to go forward. Do they want to become level 1? Do they want to become level 2? Or do they have the goal of saying, I do want to become a certified, and I want to do it as fast as possible. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to become a certified referee, wear the big shirt. So, and I think there's a high attrition rate. There's a lot of people that would, basically they want to know what a referee does, and that's all they want to know. So those are the ones that are going to come out probably as a trained referee. The ones I can see that really do have that drive, that fire in them, at that next tournament that we have, or the next time they get to go somewhere, then I will evaluate them and say, yeah, you've really excelled. I could see that you want to do it. You are going to be a level 1 now. I will give them their credentials, their badge, their banner around their neck, and they will go in the referee national database. So anywhere they travel to, they go to nationals in Naples, they go to nationals in Palm Springs, or Open in Naples. Their name will be there. As soon as they enter, they will get priority to be able to referee, and they will get paid a higher amount of money. And then if they do really good there, probably what I would do is contact that regional referee trainer in Southern California and say, I have 2 or 3 people that are going to come out. I would like you to watch them, observe them, tell me how they did, and if they did well, right then they'll get their level 2.
Okay, so before someone signs up for this clinic in September, they should be reading the handbook, looking over the rules. What else should they be doing, and where can they find that information? The
first thing they have to do is become a member of the USAP, and in good standings, because we have had some people that are not good standing people. And I would like them, before they come to the class, read the rule book over and over. I want them to know the rules. I would like to have them read the handbook. And all this stuff is found in the USA Pickleball website.
Okay.
And I think it's under the heading Get Involved. Then there's referees, and then it's referee training material, and there will be a lot of training. You can actually become a full referee of any level as a self-trained referee. Back when I was doing it 8 years ago or so, There was not this information. You were self-trained. You had to memorize it. You had to go around and you practiced and you took tips from other people on how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Now they have all that information, exactly how to call a timeout. Timeout has been called by the receiving team. The score is 5-3, server 1. You have 1 minute. Hit your stopwatch and walk to the center of the court. Make sure everybody's happy. You come back. As you're on your way back from the center of the court, you look at the receiving team and say, you have 1 timeout left. Serving team, you have 2 timeouts left. Time in, 5-3, 1. So it would be real simple. They have to know. The thing they have to know is how to start off a game. You have to bring everybody together and you say, okay, this is a match 2 out of 3, win by 2. Pick a number. Okay, you win. Do you want to serve, receive, side, or defer? You have 4 choices. Which one would you like? They pick. The other team, you look at them. They pick, and you say, you have 4 minutes left to warm up. So all this stuff has to kind of just flow. When you start getting into the big matches where you have headset on, you have 5 referees. You have a primary referee, secondary referee, a tracking referee, a video referee, and a scoreboard referee. So all those people have to work together, which is really kind of nice, you know. And I rely on all those people when I'm working under the big tent at a big venue, working all pros. I want to make sure it's like keeping track of your line judges. I want every single one of my other referees to know exactly what their role is. So I pre-brief them. I say, when I look over there, I want to make sure that everything's right. You give me a funny sign, or if I look around, I see a sign, I want to know exactly what that. If I see a sign like this, I know somebody's coaching.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So, and I want them to be able to call calls also. If they see an illegal serve, if they see somebody throw a paddle, I want them, if they hear a profanity, I want to issue a verbal warning. If it was a bad profanity, I'm going to do a technical warning. If they do something, if they throw a paddle and hit somebody, technical foul, game's over.
Right.
Yep. And I use those verbal warnings as a way to control the game. I don't ever want a match to become out of control too soon. So I bring them all together, say, okay, verbal warning. I heard you say something nasty. And I use a verbal warning for partners too. If I see a husband and wife out there and I see one of them being really verbal and being derogatory or being abusive to that partner, I stop it real quick. I don't want nobody on the court being abusive to nobody. It's pickleball.
So Mike, give us a rundown on the different benefits, both monetary and otherwise, of becoming a referee.
I think there's a lot. The benefits for me are what it's kind of all about. You get to meet people all over the country, right? Which is really fun. You meet a lot of great players, but other than that, and getting paid, you usually get paid per your rank, whatever your level is. The higher rank you are, the more pay you get. But the other benefit you get to, there's different groups that when you're a referee, I call ahead and say, I'm going to be in Pueblo, Colorado for a big tournament down there. Do you have a place for me to stay? Do you have some sort of stipends that offset my costs, travel expenses? And most of the time they'll say yes. And so I get to stay in some of the most beautiful places, stay with some of the most amazing people. They take you around. They introduce you to all their group. They take you to all the other pickleball facilities in the area. And you get to, it's amazing that, because normally out of my pocket, it can be very, very expensive for me to travel all over the country. If I have to go up to northwestern Montana, spend 5 days up there with nothing to help me out, it's going to be $1,000 a week, easy. And it's all, for me, it's all out of my pocket. I don't get paid by anybody. I could request monies, but I think by giving back to the sport, I'm getting good karma, and usually I always win a lot. So evidently it works out. So you go to country clubs, beautiful country clubs, the Marriott. You get to go to these Wickenburg Ranch down there in western Arizona. 3 big, beautiful golf courses, big swimming pools. You get a private casita. You get a golf cart to drive around in. You get the expense card. You just go to the restaurant and tell them, I'm with so-and-so, and it puts it all on their bill. You know, it's pretty doggone good. So I love being a referee.